Formagi YouTube video k lia oper jo tum ny story lik kdhs k oper tai men strong hook lik k do. Hook jandar. Suspenseful our curiosity si barpor hona chaye k mary vaur engage ho jn our video ko ntk deken you are my destiny. The rain fell in heavy sheets, drumming against the windows like a warning. I stood alone in the old house, the wooden floor creaking beneath my feet. A cold draft brushed against my neck, sending shivers down my spine. Every shadow seemed alive, stretching and twisting with the flickering candlelight. The scent of wet earth and something faintly metallic filled the air. I could hear my own heartbeat, loud and uneven, echoing in the silence. A sudden knock came from upstairs, slow and deliberate. I froze, my breath catching in my throat. The sound repeated, closer this time, as if it was right above me. I climbed the stairs, each step groaning under my weight. The hallway stretched endlessly, the wallpaper peeling and faded. A whisper brushed past my ear, so soft I almost thought I imagined it. Then I saw it, at the end of the corridor. A figure stood in the doorway, motionless, shrouded in shadows. My stomach twisted, my legs refused to move. It tilted its head, and the dim light revealed a face I knew, yet did not recognize. The eyes were familiar, yet hollow, staring straight through me. I felt my chest tighten, every nerve screaming in alarm. And then it spoke, a voice that trembled yet carried authority. "You are my destiny," it said. The words hung in the air, heavy and suffocating. I stepped closer, compelled and terrified at the same time. The room felt colder, the walls closing in as the figure advanced. I wanted to run, but my body refused to obey. The candle flickered violently, throwing grotesque shadows across the walls. I felt the air thicken, every breath a struggle, every sound amplified. And then I noticed something that made my blood run cold. The hands of the figure were covered in something sticky, something dark. The familiar face smiled, but the eyes betrayed something horrifying, something I could not comprehend. The smile widened unnaturally, revealing teeth that gleamed in the candlelight. A chill ran down my spine, as if the air itself had turned to ice. I wanted to scream, but my voice was trapped in my throat, silent and useless. I took an involuntary step back, but the figure advanced, gliding rather than walking. Every movement was deliberate, controlled, yet impossible in its fluidity. The wooden floor beneath my feet groaned in protest, echoing like a distant warning. The candle flickered again, and for a moment, the figure vanished. I blinked, thinking it a trick of the light. Then a hand touched my shoulder, cold and heavy, and I gasped. The eyes stared into mine, black pools that seemed to swallow all light. I felt an almost magnetic pull, forcing me to look deeper, to see things I did not want to see. Visions flashed in my mind. Rooms I had never entered, faces I had never met, moments I had never lived. I staggered, clutching my head, trying to shut the visions out. The figure's voice came again, soft, insistent, impossible to ignore. "You belong to me," it whispered, the words dripping with power. The walls seemed to breathe, contracting and expanding as though the house itself were alive. I could hear whispers, dozens of them, coming from every corner, every crack in the floor. They were chanting my name, layering over one another, rising in intensity, unbearable in their persistence. I ran down the hallway, my bare feet slipping on the wet, cold floor. The shadows stretched longer, following me, merging into forms I could not distinguish from reality. Every door I passed slammed shut behind me, leaving me trapped in an endless corridor of darkness. A sudden light pierced the gloom, harsh and unnatural. I shielded my eyes, and when I opened them again, the figure stood closer, blocking my escape. I could see the details now. The eyes were not human, the skin pale and almost translucent, veins dark and pulsating. The hands were coated in a thick, dark substance, moving as if reaching into my very soul. I tried to speak, to demand answers, but only a whisper emerged. The figure tilted its head, examining me like prey. "You cannot run from what is meant to be," it said. Suddenly, the house seemed to change. The walls stretched impossibly, ceilings rising higher, floors dropping lower, rooms morphing into spaces I had never seen before. I realized with horror that I did not know where I was anymore, that I had lost all sense of reality. I stumbled into a room that was familiar yet wrong. The furniture was correct, but every object was slightly shifted, slightly off. A mirror caught my reflection, and I froze. It was not me staring back. The face in the mirror was mine, yet distorted, eyes hollow, mouth twisted in a silent scream. I reached out, fingers trembling, and the reflection smiled back with a cruelty that was not mine. I turned, but the figure was there, closer than before. It moved without sound, effortless and precise. The air was thick, almost viscous, and every breath felt like inhaling molten ice. I felt a sharp pain in my chest, a burning, twisting agony that made my vision blur. It whispered again, the voice wrapping around my mind, bending my thoughts. You cannot deny what is written. You are mine. The floor beneath me cracked, jagged lines racing toward me like hungry snakes. I stumbled backward, almost falling, and the walls began to pulse in rhythm with my pounding heart. I could hear a distant ringing,